Okay, this is video part 3. This is picking up from the last video. I just want to keep this going so that I can help you all get a better idea of working with integers. As you can see, I have a makeshift bank account on the right hand side. A lot of this stuff was coming out of my account or going into my account. And we're going to talk more about what we've been talking about, integers. So, I like to pick up where we left off at. The first thing I want to actually just rehash is that we learned in the last video that repeated addition and repeated subtraction of real numbers, the repeated addition and the repeated subtraction of real numbers can be expressed using multiplication. Okay, so briefly, and I'm just gonna very briefly. Okay, here's repeated subtraction. Okay, these are, of course, I'm not going to keep reiterating. We know these are whole numbers. Okay, subtracting 3, subtracting 3, subtracting 3. We are subtracting 3 of these things here. 3, we are subtracting 3 of these. Okay, so multiplication, it allows us in the short way to express repeated subtraction. Now, we fell short somewhere. We stopped showing students that repeated addition represents multiplication. We show them that repeated addition represents multiplication, but we have to reemphasize that multiplication is just a shorthand way of showing repeated addition and subtraction in some type of way. In this case, it's the subtraction of whole numbers. And it also brings up something else. That means that division, we cannot, we have to be very careful when we are talking about what operations mean in mathematics or how other operations relate to others. For instance, division is not repeated subtraction. I'm going to repeat that. Division is not repeated subtraction. Now, what division is, repeated subtraction. This we use repeated subtraction of the divisor in the measurement model to figure out how many of the divisor fit into the dividend. But division is division. It's asking you how many of these are in here, or splitting something up in a certain way. Now, we may use repeated subtraction to get a quotient, but that don't mean that division is repeated subtraction. Understand? Okay, so we're gonna look over here at this account here. Actually, I'm just gonna undo these here. And as you can see, we're gonna talk very quickly about this account. Best Buy. I got a miscellaneous debit. That means that, a debit was taken out. Nothing in particular. As you can see on bank accounts, they'll have a minus sign to indicate that that's what came out of your account. Out of your account balance. Okay, American Mattress, they took out $130. Okay, because supposedly I spent $130. Walgreens, $25.33. These are all transactions. You can see all of the transactions that transpired. Now, notice right here, I didn't have a debit taken out of my account, but I had a deposit put into my account. Don't ask me about if this is how much I get. Shut up. All right, so this is not a debit. This is a deposit. So this was put into my account. And if we look down here at the bottom, notice it says current balance. We're going to assume that this represents all of my account. So this is my current balance. We're just going to say I have $2,300 left after $200 was taken out, after $130, after this, after this, after this, after this, after this. And it's all coming out of that $3,000 there. Okay? So if I didn't have that $3,000, it would be negative money going down there, a short negative balance. But so I had more deposited than I had taken out. But let's talk about the subtraction of negatives. Now, let's say, and this is where I'm going with this, looking at this account, what if I said to my bank, hey, Chase, you know what? I did not go to American Mattress. I still have the same mattress I've been had. I haven't been to you all. Why did you all take 130 out my account? And I called them. I said, hey, I did not do that. Then I look down here and I'm analyzing my account. And then I look down and I say, did I do that? Yeah, I did that. I did that. Yeah, I went to Whole Foods. I bought a whole bunch of food. And I look at Bed Bath and Beyond. Bed Bath and Beyond. I haven't been in no Bed Bath and Beyond. I don't need nothing from no Bed Bath and Beyond. I got everything I need for my bedroom. So I say to them, I say, hey, Chase, call them up. Something is bogus. So what are they going to do? Well, if they don't do anything, I'm going to change my account to another bank. So let's say we see currently that I have a balance of $2,300. Now, you see if they take out a debit, it shows as minus, so it shows as negative. So you don't have to be in the negative to actually see a negative, okay? A negative with banks and businesses and banks just show that they're not putting that in your account, that they took it out of your account, okay? That's something important to understand. Okay, with that said, going back to what I was mentioning, what if I told them, hey, I didn't do this. I did not go to American Mattress. Somebody must be using my card there because it's located in Best Buy downtown. It's in the same building. Somebody must have saw my account. I did not do that. So basically, if they took it, I said, I didn't do that. So I tell them to take it off. So what are they going to have to do? Well, let me go back to this pen. All right, what are they going to have to do? Exactly. They're going to have to subtract it off of my account. What is it? They're going to have to subtract not $130. Because if they subtract $130, that's going to take this down some more, isn't it? No, they're going to have to subtract that minus $130 off my account. Because I didn't do it. Okay? So, if they subtracted this off my account, and let me indicate that real quick. Let me just block that out. If that was just subtracted off my account, okay, would I still have a current balance of $2,300? What would happen to my account then? What would it do? Would it go up or would it go down? How much would they have to give me back? Exactly. They'd have to give me back $130. I hope you're seeing the bigger picture. I hope that you all are really seeing that. If you subtract that minus transaction that was performed on my account, if they subtract off that minus transaction, then I would get back $130. Okay? Why would I get back $130? Because they had to take it off because it was a bogus transaction. Okay? So my account down here wouldn't be $2,300. It'll be $2,400 and what? $30. Exactly. Now, let's say I didn't do this one either. I didn't go to Bed Bath and Beyond none this weekend. So I am just, telling them, hey, y'all are wrong. So basically, they're going to have to do what? Let me use the same color. They're going to have to subtract that minus $130 transaction off my account. And that's going to do what with my account? Exactly. It's going to bring it up $130 from where more than what it is. So, let's say I do own up to everything else. Say, yeah, I did go park in High Park and I had to pay that parking meter, which I hate doing. Whole Foods. But yeah, I did all these things, but not these. So, what happened to my account? Well, if I had $230, $2,300, they had to add back $130 and had to add back another $130 to my account, because I shouldn't have the same current balance if these transactions was taken off. And let me show that I took the other one off. Let me take that bad fella off. Get off of there. Get off. Get off. All right. So now how much do I have? Well, that would be 0, 6, 5. So I have $2,500 and what? $60 in my account. Does that make sense? Should I have more than $2,300? Yes. Why? Because they subtracted those minus transactions off. They subtracted those minus transactions off my account. They subtracted those negative transactions that were performed on my account. Okay? So with that said, or we could just say they subtracted the subtracted transactions off my account. Okay? Whichever way you all want to perceive it. Okay? Either way it go, it should make sense that plus 130 is what comes up. Now, in perspective. Now, what do we say? When do we say we use multiplication? When we repeatedly what? Adding things. We use it to show we use multiplication to show repeated addition of things. And we use multiplication to show the repeated what? Subtraction of items, okay? Of the same items. Are these the same items being subtracted more than once? Yes. So not only did they subtract one of these minus $130 transactions, which gave me back $130, they did it twice. So in essence, if they did it twice, they subtracted two of these minus $130 transactions, which means that I got back my $260 that I didn't even spend. Okay? So that is why students say a negative times, you all should be saying why a minus times a minus is a positive. It really don't have, because saying a negative times a negative equal a positive really don't get students to understand what's going on. But we know that a multiplier, from smaller grades, we should know that a multiplier tells you what to do or repeatedly do to what's over here. And this multiplier in this case is telling us to subtract, not to add. If it was telling us to add, it would say 2 times minus 130. Okay? But that's not what's happening. The multiplier in this case is telling us to subtract 2 of these. So we minus 1 of these, and then we minus another 1 of these, which in each case give us back 130, plus it gives us back another 130, which is 260. Okay, so that is why a quote unquote negative times a negative is a positive, you all. I hope that you all are seeing this, and I hope that you spend some time trying to reason through it, because it's more than a notion. Like I said in the last video, I knew it was going to take a whole video for me to try to get you all to understand this. But I need for you to all to understand this. You cannot go to high school and not understanding this. And definitely be prepared for college. This is having a conceptual understanding of what you're doing with integers. So you won't be following any rules. So I'll do another one of these for extra practice, but in a later video. So let me cut this one short because I don't know how long it's running. Talk to you all later. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you learned something. All right. Talk to you. Bye.